Hello and welcome. My name is Vincent. I'm the creator of the fan-made Bunkers and Badasses tabletop role-playing game. And as a huge Borderlands fan and a published game designer, I wanted to create a tabletop gaming experience that would immerse us into this amazing universe of Borderlands. My rules for this game system is for it to be simple, fun, and feel like a Borderlands adventure. For this video, I'm going to be diving into the character creation, so hopefully this will help you out. But before I do, I should mention that I am in no way affiliated with Gearbox, 2K, or anyone that owns Borderlands and its properties. I've made this as a fan released to the public for free, just, for us to have some fun with it. Now with that out of the way, let's dive in. In the Bunkers and Badasses, or B&B for short, we have a simple page that goes through the 6 steps of creating your character. Now this whole guide is very much reminiscent of the Otherworlds character creation. So if you're familiar with the Otherworlds system, you can check. You'll notice a lot of similarities. So our first step is to roll for attributes. Now this is very straightforward. You can literally just choose the numbers 1 through 6 and apply them to your 6 attributes, or you can roll 6 dice and then apply them each separately. Your 6 attributes are going to be your strength, which is your physical capabilities, your dexterity, which is your agility and your ability to use ranged weapons and attacks. Your toughness is your constitution, essentially, and your intelligence is your mental ability, your wisdom is your instincts and your perceptions, and your resolve is your charisma and your bravery. So just roll the 6 dice and choose 1 dice on each number, and boom, there's your stats. Easy as that. Next up for race, well, congratulations, you're a human. It's pretty straightforward. Now if you wanted to add stuff later, as in being like a claptrap, or maybe in the new Borderlands 3 they have different races, or whatever the heck Zero is, then you could we could implement those races here. But currently we have a race, and then we have the sub races, which is currently you're either Pandoran or you are an off-worlder, which would give you some different benefits for that. Now for step number 3, you choose your class. Currently we just have the 4 classes from the first game. I've had a lot of people requesting different classes because I think the first game isn't as popular as, say, Borderlands 2. And a lot of people want to play some of these other classes, such as, Zero as the Assassin or Nisha the Lawbringer. And the reason why we just have the 4 is because currently this is just I wanted to just put enough out there to put it out into the world, see what people thought. If the reception was good, then I'd start making some more stuff. I didn't want to just make 4 random classes, so I thought we'd start with Borderlands 1 just as the series did and make the most sense. But we've gotten a lot of interest, so be sure to stay tuned. We'll make the other classes and implement them in the game as well. Next up we have themes, which is one of my favorite things about this system. It is actually different than Otherworlds. In Otherworlds we have a background, and your background is where your character comes from. The theme can still be that, but instead of choosing 1 background in the Bunkers and Badasses system, we choose 2 themes. The themes have this mix and match component to it that Borderlands is known for. So you can have like the Zafford's Luck while being part of Hyperion, or you can be noble of blood but you can be very good at swindling people, or you can be a dwarf who has tons of muscle. It's really up to you how you do these themes, and they completely change your character because if you're a hunter, you might be thinking Mordecai from Borderlands 1. However, if you're a dwarf hunter with the tons of muscle or a ton of money, or you're a good swindler, then you will start just with the themes and class alone. It will already start defining your character and make you very different from the original Borderlands cast that we all love. And speaking of which, about making your character its own person, we have step number 5, which is characteristic traits. These are pretty basic for your traits. You want something usually that's a positive trait, a neutral trait, and a negative trait. For conviction, it's your character's belief system. For connection, it's what they hold the strongest value to. And then their desire, which is basically their biggest goal in life. It's the main thing that they strive to accomplish. For equipment, we have weapons, we have armor, we have shields, and we have items. If you played Borderlands, you should be able to kind of tell what each of these stand for. For your weapons, you get 2 starting weapons that you're proficient with. And let's see, there's a starting weapon for every weapon proficiency. Starting weapons have the lowest stats in the game and often no special effects. So yeah, just like in the video game, you're going to start off with some kind of hunk of junk, and then you're going to have to kill tons and tons of bandits and other enemies, drop that loot, and get some more weapons. So yeah, so we have all that set up. So let's take a look at... So one thing that's interesting about the class system is that, as you'll notice, I set it up to be like the skill trees in the actual Borderlands games. So whenever you level up, you will effectively get a skill point, and then you spend those skill points on the skill trees as you would in the game, and then you have different tiers that you unlock. And so if you start off as the Berserker, then you would choose for your level 1 skill to either be in the Brawler tree, the Tank tree, or the Blaster tree. And then you would pick up either Iron Fist, Endless Rage, etc., etc. Well, actually, no, you start off with Berserk, because that says your level 1 skill. So just like in the game, you start off with that. You don't have to wait till level 5, like you would in the video game, however. And let's see, it's actually been a while since I've looked at this, because last year I was actually working on the Bunkers and Badasses game, but I had a lot of different things come up, and I didn't know if this would be something that people actually wanted, so I kind of prioritized things differently. Then we had a changing in our team, and so the priorities kind of changed up differently. So yeah, with every class, your class will determine your starting health, your starting wealth, your equipment proficiencies, and your skill proficiencies. So if you choose the Hunter, for example, your starting health is 6 plus 1d6 per toughness. So that's an incentive to make sure that you get some toughness for your character, otherwise you're going to be fairly squishy. Your starting wealth, this game uses dollars just like the video game. And for your equipment proficiencies, the Hunters prefer to handle combat from afar, but even when close, they still never miss. They get plus pistols or revolvers proficiency and sniper rifles. And then for skills, let's see. They become proficient with acrobatics, perception, silver tongue, stealth, and survival. And then every different class has a different melee function. So the Hunter has the Hunter shouldn't say Iridian Touch here. It should be whatever that's the Sirens. But his melee should still be his dexterity plus tier level d6. The TL stands for tier level, and you trade up tier levels every 5 levels. So level 1, you're at tier level 1. Level 5, you're tier level 2. Level 10, you're tier level 3. Then 15 is 4, and tier level 5 is 20. You will notice that there are typos in this book. It's not complete. There's not a monster section. There's not a sample adventure. There's a decent bit of things that still need to be added, but I wanted to show you all the concepts of what I have. It's definitely playable, especially with some of the creatures and stuff that I created, and I'll be sure to release that in our Discord. Yeah, it's been a ton of fun, and so I just wanted to share this out with you guys and see what the reception was. So far, the feedback has been amazing, and I really appreciate it, and so it's made me very excited to start releasing some new content for this. So be on the lookout for that. If there's anything in particular that you'd like to see for the Bunkers and Badasses role-playing game, let me know. I hope this answered some of your questions. If it didn't answer all of your questions, let me know what your questions are, and I'll be sure to make a video or an article detailing those questions. Thank you so very much for watching and being a fan, and yeah, it's been awesome. Thank you so much. Bye.